Alright, ladies and gents, this is the Unexpected Wonder here, coming to talk to you about, obviously, what does the title say? Leverage, that's right, Leverage, the TV show, and the whole series, because unfortunately, TNT decided they wanted to cancel Season 6. Myself and plenty of other fans had just got recently into the show. I mean, it was an addiction for me, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to discuss really the series and by the way, as you can see, you probably tell, this is it's one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time, as well as one I consider one of the greatest shows of all time. And for those who haven't seen the show, watch the show. I'm not even gonna deal with it. Just watch the show, watch the video, and you'll see why I say such things. You know, it has so much depth and stuff. But on this review, I'm trying not to reveal spoilers and kind of obviously talk generalized stuff. Any stuff you can obviously see quick on the web, you know, without revealing plot blowers and, you know, all that spoilers. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to start with each character and their flaws and then go from there. Alright, first we start with Nate Ford. He is the mastermind of the Leverage crew, Leverage Incorporated, Leverage Inc. Yes. He suffers from 3 main problems through the course of the show, especially the first 3 seasons. Number 1, Nate suffers from, number 1, he suffers from, I guess you say alcoholism versus a sobriety thing on there. It's a battle. Alcoholism and sobriety. He's between the two, and it takes him a long time to deal with it. The second thing he deals with is bad blood, bad history with his father, Jimmy Ford. And if you really want to know the show, just really want to get into that, just watch the show. It's excellent to see what happens with his father, and the relationship they have is very, very interesting. And thirdly, the reason he's alcoholic, more or less, is, well, it's kind of based on his father, beef with his father, but also and his childhood, but also it takes him a long time to get over the grief of his son's death, which, you know, this is no spoiler. It's episode 1, ladies and gents, and that's a common theme throughout. That's a common problem throughout the whole series. All right, now Sophie Devereaux. Sophie Devereaux, she's a con woman. Now, mind you, this all the Leverage crew, all 5 of them, excellent experts at what they do, masters, arguably. Sophie Devereaux is a con woman. She's been around the block. Nathan Ford chased her time and time again. Anyway, she mainly deals with art, and she doesn't con the low folks. She cons the rich and powerful. Okay. Sophie Devereaux, her 2 flaws are, first of all, she has to learn to be real. Be real, because after lying so long, anybody who's ever dealt with a pathological liar knows this. A chronic liar knows that the lies start to become the person. If you lie to yourself long enough, you start to become that, and you might even start believing that. So she has to learn to be real, at least with the Leverage crew. And her second thing is I would say probably control issues a little bit. Just watch the show to see what I mean by that. Third, we have Elliot. Elliot, a lot of people's favorite. You know, a lot of people's favorite. Elliot is just this cool dude, but he's a hitter, ex-soldier, blah blah blah. He's the Wolverine type. He's the best at what he does. I'm right. Alright, with Elliot, he has 1, maybe 2 problems. He has 2 problems. his main problem is he's very stoic at the beginning, very world weary. You know, he's been through and he's seen a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff, and over the series you see what he's been through. And also his I wouldn't say hyper aggression. He's just, he can be very, it's a control over, because it's a control over his rage. Let me just say that it's very much like Wolverine, a control over his rage. He has to learn that. He has to learn to soften it up, you know. Next we have Hardison, hacker, highly, stupidly intelligent, like highly, extremely intelligent. You know, this guy, computer whiz extraordinaire. Now, Hardison's problems is, first of all, cockiness. He has to learn that there are others who are at his level, or maybe even people who are smarter than him. And also, Hardison, he has some growing up to do. Let me just put it that way. He had become a man. He becomes a man, more of a man throughout the series. And then last but not least, pretty much everybody, I gotta say, Bond 2, you know, pretty much everybody's favorite character or second favorite character, Parker. They say thief, but she truly is a master thief. She gets even better. Parker, oh my goodness, Parker. Her main problem, I'm gonna say this, her main, well, okay, two, she has to learn, to trust people. She has to learn to open up, and Leverage helps her. The Leverage crew helps her do that in different ways, but mainly, I'll get to the relationships. And second, her naivete. Holy crap! At the beginning, she is naive, but as the series goes on, that woman there, let me tell you. And I'm gonna tell you about Parker. Parker is by far the most improved, dynamic character in Leverage by far. By far, it's not even a question. Okay, not even a question. Nate is number 2, but he's not even anywhere near where Parker is. Alright, now this is the second part of my video. I'm gonna talk about Leverage. They're a family. Okay, if you would put them in a family setting, Nate would be the father, Sophie would be the mother, Elliot would be the oldest child, the big brother, Hardison would be the middle child, and Parker would be the youngest child. Okay, now, again, this isn't really a spoiler. If you ever watch the show, you'll already know Parker and Hardison. They go well together, and they eventually, you know, get together. So it's not, you know, I'm saying in the dynamic of the team itself. Not, you know, obviously they're not related, blah blah blah. But in the dynamic of the team, Nate is the father, Sophie's the mother, Elliot's the oldest brother, Hardison's the middle brother, and Parker's the youngest kid. Now, with Nate, okay, now I'm going to talk about their relationships in that way. Nate helps Sophie. It's a love, you know. He develops, you know, helps Sophie come to grips with her own self. Okay, helps her get over her control issues and learn to love, really. Nate with Elliot, you'll see them often. Nate gives Elliot a lot of fatherly advice, and Elliot, you don't really, even though you might, it's quick stuff. It's hard to catch, but Elliot, the way he responds to Nate in different times. If you watch the series, you know what I'm talking about. Elliot respects him like a father. He really does. The father he doesn't really have, so to say. Hardison, Nate's relationship with Hardison, great respect. Both of them have great respect for one another. Now, here's the difference between Hardison and Elliot. Nate trusts Elliot as a protector. Hardison, on the other hand, he trusts him. How would you say? He knows Hardison is highly intelligent. He teaches Hardison how to be a man, really, to be honest with you. He does teach Hardison how to be a man and to learn to work well with others, because like Parker, Hardison at the beginning of the series is pretty much a loner. Okay, Parker, Nate, it's a father-daughter thing. Let's just put it that way. It's a father-daughter thing. Sophie and Nate. Sophie, she deals with a lot of crap from Nate. Let's just be honest, ladies and gents. If you watch the show, you'll see it. She deals with a lot of crap from Nate, and she anchors Nate. She's the anchor to Nate. Okay. Sophie with Elliot. Sophie, like Nate, she puts a lot of faith in Elliot. Faith that Elliot will protect, especially Hardison and Parker when they're in the field out on the job. Okay. Hardison and Sophie. They have some kind of relationship, obviously, but it's nothing, too major to really talk about. And it's to Sophie with Parker. Now, Sophie and Parker are huge, mother-daughter. She's the main one that helps Parker become who she is as a beyond just a young woman, a grown woman. Watch the relationship between them two; it's beautiful. Elliot and Hardison. Elliot and Hardison is just brother stuff, man. And at first, they, it's like the rivalry with in One Piece in comparison, Zoro and Sanji. Parker and Elliot are like that, but over time they get really close. They become real brothers, man. I'm telling you. And Elliot and Parker, Elliot he really older brother, ready to protect Parker, and Hardison and Parker, beyond just the role relationship, Hardison and Parker, they just have a bond that's amazing. And quickly, I'll talk about each season. And like I say, these are just highlights. I mean, there's a lot of material, so it's very hard for me to do this in a quick video. Season 1, I would just say it's like, it was just a partnership. And even how the season ended, it was, you wanted more because you wanted them to get closer. You knew they had potential. It was sad how they broke apart. Season 2, they become a team, a legit team. And Nate, being the leader of the ship, going down with the ship, taking responsibility. And that's the thing. Nate leads, man. Nate leads them. Sophie is the advisor. Elliot, like I keep mentioning, he's the protector, man. He really protects. Hardison is the info gatherer. He gets he's the knowledge man. They do more than this. They're capable of more, and that's the greatest part about Leverage. They're all capable of more and doing multiple things. And Parker she gets in there and she gets things done, but then she becomes way more. I'm not gonna spoil. Just watch the series and Now getting to season 3. Season 3, they really start to become a family. And they get down to the nitty-gritty. And they start facing some big dogs, okay? The big dogs in the world. Tough dogs, you know what I mean? And then, season 4 was beautiful. You had dealing with, again, they beat Big Dog, but now they're top dogs and they've become a family at this point. And they now face a dude who reminds me of, if you play GTA San Andreas, then you'll know the dude that CJ deals with out in the desert. Well, they face a dude like that, and they face an I don't want to be a spoiler, but the kind of the dude that got them all together. They deal with old stuff, and it kind of buried. And then this season 5 was a beautiful tie-in to everything post. Now, I will say quickly about the season finale, which became the series finale. Season 5 finale, series finale. Now, it was leaving you wanting more. It was foreshadowing. For those who remember the Parker, Elliot, and Hardison episode when they were there in DC, you'll remember it was great foreshadowing. But, if he doesn't continue, that's great. And I'm the Unexpected Wonder, and I'm